Welcome back to the Rogne Homes channel. I'm Kristen Rogne, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through real active listings straight from the MLS on what $500,000 actually gets you in the northern Denver metro area. And we're comparing several different areas like Thornton, Brighton, Westminster, Broomfield, Northglenn, Commerce City, and Erie. So let's jump in and I'll show you exactly what $500,000 gets you in each of these areas. So we are going to be looking at homes with a $500,000 price tag, active listings, single family homes, and today we are looking at Thornton, Brighton, Westminster, Northglenn, Broomfield, Commerce City, and Erie. Okay, so there are 12 matches, so let's go ahead and see what our results look like. All right. So we will go ahead and let's just start at the top. So it looks like there are 3 in Brighton. There's 105, 1 2025, and then 1 2023. So we'll take a quick look at all of these. All right. It does have an association, so an HOA. Looks like $864 a year. Taxes are about $6,000. It is in a metro district. So in some of our other videos, we've talked about metro districts. That's going to be why this tax bracket is higher, because basically the builders pass that cost of development, like the parks and the sidewalks and all of that. They normally, when they absorb that cost, but in a metro district, they pass that on to the homeowner's taxes. So you're paying for that every year. So eventually maybe it'll go down, but it is higher initially. So this is a 1-level home. It was dropped. So it was originally at $550. It's in Adams County. Brighton East Farms is the subdivision. Total square footage is 3,000. And this is a 5-bed, 3-bath, so pretty sizable. Parking 2. And it's 0.18 acres. So pretty standard for this area, but now what we're gonna do here quick is we're gonna see where this lands on the map. Okay, so it's right by Highway 7, which is not an interstate, but it does have a lot of traffic, so just something to consider with that, but pretty quick access to I-76, which then can get you, can shoot down towards 25 there. Oops. And then Highway 7 can bring you over to Boulder. So you're in the northeast part of town. Look at a couple pictures real quick. It's a corner lot. Some people like that for the additional parking. Some people don't because they could think you don't have as much of a yard. So I think this is the 05 house. So some of the finishes look maybe a little outdated, but overall pretty clean. Oh yeah, those wood slab walls. They put these great pergolas up. That's nice because that Colorado sun can be quite intense. They've made a pretty nice backyard area, but not a whole lot of space in the yard. So I guess, like, I have a dog. I have 2 dogs, and that would not be ideal for us, particularly just because we want some grass and some room for them to run. All right. So that was the first Brighton one. And yes, that was the 05 one. So now we'll look at the 2025 one. Okay, so this is obviously a brand new build, so there's not a ton of photos on this, but you can see the difference in, interesting. Okay, so this is obviously a new build. It also has dropped in price. So just kind of off of those first 2 showing that there's not a whole lot, that's listed for $500. But let's see what this one offers. It does have an association fee as well, about $612 a year. So a little less, I believe, than the last one. 2 levels. It's a duplex. So this would be for an investment property. This would be actually really good. I mean, if it were me, I would purchase it, live in one half, rent the other, and, go from there. Then that way that also gives you some loan benefits if it's your primary residence versus you just renting out both sides of that. So definitely something to consider. 3 bed, 3 bath. Let's see where this is on the map. Okay, so it's south from downtown Brighton. Pretty close access to E470, which can get you either to South Denver or Denver a lot faster, but then you're also, taking into consideration that toll cost. Pretty close to Bar Lake too, which is a great, recreational area. Not a whole lot of restaurants and what have you out in this area just yet. So you would be driving, to restaurants. Texas Roadhouse, I guess, isn't too terribly far away, but it's not developed, not walkable. Okay. Okay, the third house in Brighton, 2023 listing. This one was and still is at $500. This one has an association fee. This one's a bit higher than the last 2 that we've seen. Ridgeline Vista is the subdivision name. Taxes much lower than that first house that we were looking at. So certainly something, to consider. Always look at the taxes before continuing on. This looks like it's a ranch as well. About 1,600 square feet. There's a crawl space, 3 bed, 2 bath. Two-car garage, 0.3 acres. So again, also a little bit smaller than the first house that we looked at too. So just something, to take into consideration there. Let's see where this guy pops up on the map quick. Okay, so our last house that we looked at was, right over in this area, and then the first one was right over in this area. So this is a lot further north. Again, not too far access from Highway 7. You're still pretty close to Bar Lake, and 76 is right there too. So you're at least in a good spot to jump on interstates, you know, and highways to be able to get places. But, you know, zooming all the way out, you're quite a hike from Denver and then, you know, over to Boulder as well. Let's take a look at some photos. Looks like new finishes, everything looks clean. Nice island, modern backsplash and cabinetry, gas stove, very appealing to some people, myself included. Nice space though, nice sizable closets. Pretty nice open space. They've got a lot of xeriscape for a nice deck. Let's just take a closer look here. Some covered patio space, but you know, definitely room to entertain. And it looks like this actually might be another corner lot too. Okay. Okay, picking up where we left off. First Broomfield. Location. It's a multi-level. It looks like it's in a cul-de-sac, which is nice. Fairly updated for a 1970s home. Smaller spaces, that's to be expected. Lots of open space there, which is great. Back to the listing. Greenway Park. Like I said, it's a split level. Greenway Park is the Metro District, 1972. Annual association fee $1,600, and those taxes are much lower. About 1,300 square feet, so you are not getting as much house with the first one, like in the first ones that we looked at. Let's take a look and see where it lands on the map. I've got a coffee shop real close. That's nice. So you've got all of this greenery. There's a nice park there. Looks like you are right next to 287. So that can get a little busy, but that can be good or bad, right? You have to maybe deal with a little bit more traffic, but you are really close to a lot of different amenities. There's a hospital. There's, you know, some restaurants and things like that nearby. The butterfly pavilion, and there's like just a bunch of restaurants and activities and things like that that are happening right over here. And 36 is right there, so you can jet north to Boulder or jet south to 25, and then Denver's right there as well. So a little bit closer to everything, so that's certainly appealing. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next listing. In Broomfield, this one's 1985. It's a 2-level, also in Greenway Park, so same subdivision. This one has dropped in price. $1,500, so pretty close to the last one that we were just looking at. Taxes $2,400, pretty comparable. 1,600 square feet, so we're getting a little bit more space with this one. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, so it has the same as the last one. And lot size, and this one is 0.10 acres, so a little bit smaller here. Let's take a look at some photos. Okay, looks like the flooring and some updated finishes. Smaller kitchen, again, that's to kind of be expected. Double vanity. Not much of a yard. So again, like me, I'm a dog person, so I would prefer more of a yard. But you're not getting much through traffic either. So let's hop over to the map. They are pretty close to each other. Yes, that makes sense since they're in the same subdivision. So again, really close to 287 there. Same thing that we just talked about with the last property. So that same neighborhood area, you're pretty close to a lot. All right, Commerce City. It looks like we have 3, 2022, 04, and 06 are the years built. So starting with 22. This is a 2-level. Buffalo Highlands, no price drop. $900 a year for HOA. Those taxes, that jumped up. That certainly jumped up. And again, we see that Metro District right there, which explains why. 3,200 square feet of total living space. 3-bed, 3-bath. Two-car garage, 0.7 acres. So this is an even smaller lot than the Broomfield ones that we were just looking in. So if a yard is important to you, probably not the best option, but if it doesn't matter and you want less maintenance, it's a perfect option. So let's take a look at some photos. Yeah, all this updated finishes, nice kitchen island. Hardwood floors throughout, it looks like. Gas stovetop, pantry. So a lot more of that open concept, open layout concept. Decent sized closets. You're gonna get those in that newer build. And again, here's, you know, that smaller yard space. But again, if you have a smaller dog, no dog, and you just want less maintenance, it looks like they put in a little gardening box here and an unfinished basement. So that can be really nice for some people. You know, you can make it your own and add value to the home. That's also something to consider. So let's see now where it lands on the map. So Rocky Mountain Arsenal National Wildlife Refuge is right there. So you do have, and then Bar Lake isn't too far away either. Pretty close to the airport. So if you travel a lot, I guess that would be a good option. Some people don't want the air traffic. But really close access to E470 here in 76 isn't too terribly far away. But you're going to be either, you know, driving a little bit to get to 76 or hopping on E470. So just taking those things into account. And it doesn't look like there's a whole lot developed out here yet. It's still very much growing. So I would anticipate that that would happen soon. You know, over by the Gaylord and stuff, there's a lot more getting built in. But right now, you are driving everywhere, to the grocery store, to gym, restaurants, everything like that. So the 2004 Commerce City listing. 2 levels. Association, $500 a year. No price drop so far. 4,000, almost 5 in taxes. Not in a metro district though. 2,600 of total space. 4-bed, 3-bath, so you're getting a little bit more here. 2-car garage. 0.2 acre lot, so a little bit bigger than the last couple that we've looked at. Looks like it's been fairly updated. Another gas range, modern backsplash there. Kitchen looks updated, but some of the rest of the house does not look to appear that it has been. More of that yard space that we were talking about, and lots that you can do here. decent closet space. So again, not too far away from where we just were. Some little local parks and whatnot nearby. The Rocky Mountain Arsenal is right there. And again, same kind of commute options with E470 and 76. And again, you're driving to everything else. Third listing, an 06. 5,600 in taxes. This is another metro district. No association fee though. That actually kind of surprises me. No reduction in price. It looks like it's a ranch. 1,600 in total living space. A little over 1,600. 3-bed, 2-bath. 0.21 acres. So a little bit bigger than actually the last couple Commerce City ones that we've seen. So if you're wanting more space, it's certainly an option. Definitely more yard space. And again, same area. But the fact that it doesn't have an HOA is really awesome for a lot of people because, and especially when you're like so close to this area that does have one, most likely it was a separate builder that bought a handful of lots. And because of that, they are able to not have to be a part of that other subdivision's HOA. You know, it's kind of a toss up with that, right? Like if your neighbor is a part of an HOA and you do something that's against that, it can just cause some friction. So just something to be cautious of, not anything to deter you by any means, and it saves you, you know, an annual cost for sure. It allows you some more flexibility, but just keep in mind that the surrounding properties could have HOAs, and that might conflict with what you're wanting to do. Moving right along. Okay, we've got one property in Erie. 2023 it was built. No price reduction, 2 levels. 6,000, a little over 6,000 a year in taxes, another metro district, and about $1,200 a year in HOA. So 1,400 total square feet, or 1,433, 3-bed, 2-bath. 2-car garage, 0.6 acres. I think this is the smallest one that we've seen in all of these so far. So not much yard, like at all. But again, you have all of those new finishes, that bigger kitchen, that kitchen island, you know, that modern feel and that open concept. Decent sized shower. And you are right next to your neighbor. So again, everybody's different, right? Some people, this wouldn't be a big deal. Other people, that's a huge deal breaker. But if you like the space, they also have all of these great amenities, which is probably the higher price tag for the HOA. You know, you get all of these wonderful, you know, additional amenities, and you're pretty close to things. So actually, let's see how close we are to downtown Erie, because if it becomes a walkable lifestyle, oops, that is super exciting. Okay, so Erie isn't too far. Maybe a bike ride, a decent bike ride. Maybe not necessarily walkable, but pretty close to Erie, and you know where all the things are happening. You are in Erie, you're not too far away from I-25. That's probably going to be your best bet on commuting, you know, to and from Denver. And then Boulder is obviously just, you know, right over there. So little weaving, but overall not too bad. We've got also one in Northglenn, and this was built in 1963. No price reduction so far. Another ranch. No association fee, which is great. About $3,400 in taxes each year. 2,100 square feet. 3 and 3, 3 bed, 3 bath. 1 car garage. And a bigger lot. You know, it's not, I don't think it's the biggest that we've seen, but it is a bigger lot. So let's take a look at some photos. Oh, good. It looks like they've done some, oh, they have the original hardwood. They probably refinished it, and it looks like they have some updated appliances and other finishes. A bay window. That's actually not very common anymore. Those are pretty. My mom had one of those. So still a tighter kitchen, but they honestly have made the most of it. They have this cute little breakfast nook, eat-in kitchen area. Tighter spaces, but I think with the colors that they've chosen, they've actually made it look really open. A finished basement. And a very nice yard. That's great. For dogs. It is an attached 1-car garage, so that's nice at least. That wouldn't work for me and my husband. We've got too many cars. Great space for entertaining. I could not agree more. I love a nice yard, especially with the wonderful weather we have here. All right. Let's see where we land on the map. Pretty close to I-25, which is great. And what cross street is that? 104th. Okay, yeah, that's a great cross street. So pretty central. You know, you got Broomfield right there. You got downtown Thornton right here, or City Hall Thornton is right here. Straight shot to I-25. A little weaving, you know, to get over to 36, then to get up to Boulder there, but pretty decent location. As for center of town. Okay, and then finally onto Westminster. So we've got 2 listings, a 1955 and a 1970. So this is another ranch. No association. 2,800 in taxes. No price reduction yet. 2,200 square feet. 4 bed, 3 bath. No garage. No garage. And 0.15 acres. Let's take a look at some photos. It's got that galley kitchen, which you see with a lot of those year homes. They've opened this up quite a bit, which makes it look nice. So they have done some updates to it, which looks good. Breathes a little light into it. Looks like there's a downstairs kitchen, so maybe there's a potential for, you know, a mother-in-law suite or renting out the basement. There's a downstairs office, which I guess could be used as a bedroom. Utility room. And then there's a new backyard fence. But no garage. Again, Everybody's different. That wouldn't fly with us. My husband's got too many tools. Oh, let's see where we are at on the map real quick. Okay. All right. So yeah, again, pretty easy access. Hop on 36 to jet on to 25, or straight south to get on to 70, which leads you out towards the mountains. Downtown Westminster is right there. So you're going to have a lot of choices for restaurants and things to do. Not necessarily walkable, but a pretty short drive. Not too far away from, outdoor things as well. And last but not least, the 1970 Westminster. So this one does have a price drop. No association. $2,900 a year in taxes. Another ranch. 1,900 square feet. 3-bed, 2-bath. 2-car garage and 0.14 acres. Looks like they've done some updated backsplash and some updated finishes here. The floors look nicer, newer. Looks like that's a gas range as well. Lots of windows and bright. Yeah, this has definitely been updated with that shower. Closet space is substantial, considering the year of the home. And looks like they've updated the basement for somewhat. But there's still some options for you to add your own touch to it. A little workshop, it looks like. There we have it. All right, let's see where this guy lands. So just on the other side there of 36 from the last property that we looked at. So your accessibility, remains the same with what you have access to and how far away. It's just literally on the north side of 36. All right, so comparing all of these together, this is just the sort of thing that you want to take a look at, right? The year built is going to determine your layout unless the house has been completely gutted and remodeled. Those older homes aren't going to have as spacious of closets. They're not most likely going to have open concepts. Bedroom and bathroom count, very important. Looks like we only had 2 that were 4-bedroom. And then your living space, a lot of ranches, and then parking can be a big one too, and association fees. So a lot of the houses in this price range are going to have associations depending on where you look, right? Depending on where you look. But for the most part, that's what you're going to want to do. And again, you're most absolutely going to want to make sure that you check your taxes. And if, the home resides in a metro district, because that's going to add to your monthly payment. And that is what $500,000 gets you in those northern metro cities that we looked at today. And the date is April 25th, 2026. So as you can see, just like in our $700,000 video, $500,000 is not just one type of home. Some things to consider during your search: taxes, HOA fees, lot size, year of the home, the location and the commute and what that means, and then what your lifestyle is. And if you're still not sure where to start, that's where we come in. So drop us a comment or reach out to us directly and we can help you narrow down your search. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please give us a like And please share it with anyone else you think could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe to see our new content on Tuesdays. And remember, with Rogne Homes, we help your dreams find their address.